Hey YouTube, today I'm going to talk to you about phone conversations. This might come in two sections. It depends on if the client calls me back. This is going to be a real conversation. What else to say? It's going to be a real conversation with an actual client. It's not set up. I don't have a friend on the other line playing a part. This is a real phone conversation between me, the DJ, and the client. So you'll see how it goes. It might not be in this video. It really depends. I'll probably split it in two parts. So anyways, mainly because I don't know when they're going to call me back. Originally last night they were going to, and then they didn't, so I'm waiting until the night. So anyways, pretty much what you want to do, what you want to have handy is a piece of paper. Now what I did is I compiled this piece of paper with all the information I need to get from them to give them a price. Now it says untitled up there. I printed it off Notepad, so that's no information. But really what you need to get from them is their name, the date of the event, the time that it starts, when it starts and ends, the location, any, specific genre of music. And the reason why I say put specific genre of music on there is because I've had a wedding reception where they wanted all country. And, just ask them, is there any specific kind of music, like genre of music, like country specifically? Most of the time you're going to get it where they're just going to want the normal songs, YMCA, Jump Around, stuff like that. So, and then also you want to ask if they're going to have a cocktail hour. Now, some of them, sometimes you'll have wedding receptions, and it's a lot, and in the contract you're going to get a lot more information. Well, actually, the contract's pretty much them signing over, or signing the rights, saying, I agree to your terms. That's where you write down, if I require you to supply me with at least 2 tables, 8 feet in length, or something like that. One suggestion I say is bring your own table, because if they don't give you one, then it's not good, because then you don't have a table. Always bring a table or 2 for backup in case. So anyways, with the cocktail hour information, don't know if you can see this very good, you want to say if there'll be a cocktail hour, yes or no. If so, what time does it start, and do you want cocktail music to be played? Really, cocktail music is, you have to Google it. I can't really come up with anything. I've got a little book called The Pocket DJ that has a whole bunch of good stuff. And so pretty much, and I mean, you don't have to have something printed out like I do. You can have just a normal piece of paper and write down information. I keep this because it keeps me more organized. You also want to let them, ask them if they want lights, yes or no. And you don't want to bring way too many lights. And you want to ask them where, if you've the location, if you've been there before, it's a small setup. Don't bring all the lights you have. It's common sense. What else is there? And then you want to give them a price. Another thing you want to do is get them to pay a deposit fee to book the date. And the reason why you want to do this is because from past experience, I've had it where I had someone book the date. I asked them for a deposit, but they didn't pay it. So I stuck with them because throughout that month I don't get many gigs. Later on in the month, this guy sounded like he really wanted to hire me. And then later on in the month, someone else called, booked for the same date, but I didn't do it, which was stupid because the guy didn't pay the deposit fee. And then he canceled on me a week in advance, or a few days actually. So I could have had a gig, but he didn't. So always charge a booking fee. And if you don't want to do that because they don't feel comfortable doing it, tell them if you're not going to pay the booking fee, then here's what we can do. If you're not going to pay the booking fee, we can book you for that date, but if someone else calls for the same day and they pay the fee, then I'm going to have to cancel out on you. And that's probably what's going to get them to pay. Now, a lot of the times when people are calling to hire a DJ, they're not just calling you one DJ. They're going to be calling multiple DJs to see what kind of price they can get. Now, obviously, you don't want to go too low, like $250 for a whole event. They'll think it's too good. They'll think something's up. But you don't want to charge too much, like $800, $900. Now some DJs do charge that much money and they get gigs, but that's because they're experienced. But normally I charge around $4 to $4.50 for an event, a wedding from 4 hours and up. And a lot of times the reason why you want to get all their information before you give them a price up front, you don't want to have it where they call and you say, yeah, I'd love to, yeah, I'll do it for $450. Now let me get some information. Because if you do that and they're high maintenance, they need everything perfect, they have a list of songs that they want, then you should have been able to charge them more. You really want to know what you're up to before you give them a price. These are some general ideas on how to handle a phone conversation. And remember, I probably left some stuff out. I always do when I make a video, but feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll be sure, if they call back that is, to make a video on the phone conversation. I'll put it on speakerphone so you can hear everything. One more thing real quick. The reason why I suggest writing on paper before you transfer it to your computer, or before you do it on your computer, is if your computer crashes or the power goes out. Say you have a desktop PC, or a desktop or a Mac or something, it's hooked into the power supply to your house, power goes out, you just lost all that information. I suggest writing it on paper, blank paper, or your selected paper, and then transfer it to your computer. It's more reliable that way. So anyways, and you really want to, before, like, say you're calling them back, like say you get it and then 2 or 3 days later you call them back, you're going to want to ask them if they still are interested in your services, because you don't want to get all that information and say, oh, we've already found a DJ, we booked him, thanks for asking. No, but most of the time they're going to stop you before. So anyways, thank you, and if you have any questions, comments, feel free to ask them down below.